Hello everyone and welcome to Ibaisaic. Yes, the time has come for me to answer all your questions and to give you a shout out if you've requested one. Now, I've got 63 comments, not a lot, but then I wasn't expecting a huge amount. I don't think all of these want a shout out, but so I know where I am and so I can keep my place, I'm just going to go through the comments underneath the video in the order I see them. Actually, no, it's sorted by top comments, so I'll put... No, I don't want to put newest first. I'll just leave it as it is. Don't complicate things, Roger. Okay. Right. Now, that isn't an... that's not a request for a shout-out, but Brian from Canada has said, "Thank you for sharing, Roger. Be kind to yourself." Well, I always am. "And reduce the frequency of videos if need be. Better get out in the sun with Molly and Daisy than feeding our hunger for cleaner vids. We true fans will be patient and empathetic if you need more breaks. We can always rewatch old clips to get our fix too." Yes, Brian, that is true. If there has been occasions when I've not been very into making videos, as all YouTubers I'm sure are the same. They might go through a batch of making lots and be all geared up, but sometimes things happen and you get a bit crestfallen, which happens to us all, and that's happened to me. In fact, very recently I didn't put out a video on Wednesday and it felt very liberating. Only one person commented that there was no video on a Wednesday, so I'm sure it didn't bother really many of you, so I'll be doing that more. Okay, Dean B 1709 asks, "Hi mate, love a shout out." Well, hello Dean B 1709. Shout. Right, yeah, I've shouted. Please, how many vacuum cleaners have you got in total? Well, Dean B, I don't know, to be honest. I don't actually keep a track of them, because I don't consider myself as a collector, surprisingly. I'm not sort of trying to get the most vacuum cleaners. There are people out there who have 400 plus. I'm not going to get to that stage. It's not about the numbers for me. It's just about buying ones that I like the look of, or if I can get them cheap, you know? So, all I can guess, one day I will take an inventory, but all I can guess is it's more than 50, but less than 100. But it could be more than 100. I don't know, because you see, I've got some stored here, some at my mum's house, and I've no idea how many I've got. So sorry I can't answer that, but it is certainly definitely more than 50, but it's not, I'm not bragging about it. I don't think it's anything to brag about, having more than 50 vacuums. But anyway, thanks for your question, Dean B. Caleb, now I don't know how to pronounce this. I assume the K is silent. So Caleb Nusden, only 16 hours ago. Oh, Caleb, hi Roger, how many vacuums do you have? Listen to my previous answer, Caleb, and then you'll get your reply. Oh dear. I think some people have sort of misinterpreted. I've got some comments here that aren't questions or shout-outs. Anyway, I'll skip through that. Right, again, I'm not sure if I can pronounce this. This was only 2 hours ago at the time of making this video. You've not given me a name of your brother, so I can't actually name him. Now, forgive me if I get your name wrong. Sumaya, is it? Aktha. Sumaya Aktha, I think. Could I have a shout out for my little brother, please? My little brother loves vacuum cleaners. Well, hello to your little brother who loves vacuum cleaners. I think you sent me another message to say he's got a toy Henry and Hetty. So, hello to you. I don't know your name, but I'm saying hello to you anyway. Right, Mark Leslie, in brackets Merck's page. What is the worst vacuum you've ever tested? Well, I don't really know. You'll just have to look back at all my videos. The Hoover Idol was pretty bad. I mean, anything recent Hoover that's got the newer energy saving Dubry, what's it, you know, well, the new nozzles, you know, these Hoover cleaners at the moment tend to have two nozzles, one for hard floor and one for carpets. I think they call them H-Lab. Now, I've tested a few Hoover cleaners with the H-Lab carpet nozzle, and that is dire. So the Idol might be an okay cleaner with a decent nozzle, although I did overfill it and it got all clogged up, and so the Hoover Idol is pretty poor. See, even the Hoover Spritz did a bit better than the Idol. You see, the thing is, I don't tend to buy vacuum cleaners if I know they're going to be absolutely rubbish, because I don't want to waste my money. But yes, I would go for, basically, I'll say the Hoover Idol. If you want to catch that video, I'll put a link below for that. But I did have to abandon it, sort of mid bag of filth, and had to get my lovely SIBO out to clean up the mess. So I'll say the Hoover Idol at the moment, but there's plenty more to try. Now then, Tom Vacuum. I don't think that's his real name. He's possibly called Tom, but I don't think his surname's Vacuum. It'd be odd if it was. Tom Vacuum. Hi Roger, while I was watching your video and hearing you say, now a lot of people spell Ibaisiac wrong. It's here, look. That's how you spell it. It beats as it sweeps as it cleans. Anyway, hi Roger, while I was watching your video and hearing you say Ibaisiac, I wondered how it was pronounced. Should it be pronounced Ibaisaic instead of ibasiac? Love your videos, by the way. Oh, you've corrected yourself, Tom. I do apologise. You did spell Ibaisiac wrong initially, but he's corrected it. He missed out a letter. Well, I'm not sure, Tom. One of my very earliest videos, I myself didn't know how to pronounce it, so I stuck with Ibaisiac, and that's what I'm going to keep calling it, Ibaisiac. So that's your answer. Pneumatic Collector. Another good week from you. Can't wait for the Harry demo. Well, that's already been on. What a great end to the school week. Oh, school, you're still at school. Oh, I wish I was. Oh, Monday to Friday, finishing early on a Friday. Weeks and weeks off. Lovely. Now, Pneumatic Collector. In my day, when I was a young boy, people used to say to me, oh, your school days are the best years of your life. And looking back, I wouldn't say that, but I do more or less have quite fond memories. I wasn't really bullied. I was a bit of a clown at school, a bit of the class clown. I wasn't, I was probably thought I was a bit odd actually. Some people would have thought I was a bit of a weirdo. But on the whole, things were okay for me at school. I didn't excel in anything. But yeah, so as long as you enjoy school, when you look back at it, when you have to go to work, you realise that school wasn't all that bad. So kids, work hard in school, but question everything. Don't accept everything you're told to be the truth. That will become apparent to a lot of you in the next few years. I'm sure of it. I'm not going into that because it's not about vacuums. Right, so, I haven't even told you, right, sorry. Laughing about the Queen, you might end up being slagged off on the front page of the Daily Mail. Well, I don't think so. I'm sure nobody in the Daily Mail is even aware of my little channel, but I'd probably be slagged off if I was to do something to the Queen, but I'm not going to go there. Right, I don't think this was a question anyway. Let's read more. This is going to go on for ages, this. I might have to do part 2. Right. Pneumatic Collector says, I sometimes question why I collect vacuums, why am I not normal? Well, who is normal? I'm certainly not normal. And why would you want to be normal? I don't think anyone in the world is normal. We're all unique. We all have different interests. Ours, if you're watching this, you like vacuum cleaners. What's the harm in it? You might get teased for it, but just rise above it. I'm sure the people that are doing the teasing, if you are teased for liking vacuums, I'm sure there's plenty you could tease them about. But don't tit for tat, there's no point. I wasn't really teased. People normally found it quite interesting or a bit tiring to listen to me going on and on about vacuum cleaners all the time, which I did do, I'm sure, when I was a child. It was just accepted. You know, oh, Roger likes his Hoovers. So, yeah, you are a normal Pneumatic Collector. You just happen to have a relatively unusual interest. Believe you me, to search the internet, even look on YouTube, and there are people with far more weird interests than collecting vacuum cleaners, I can assure you. Right, Adam Sturgeon, what's the oldest vacuum in your collection? Mine is an Electrolux made in the late 50s, early 60s. Well, Adam, I don't know. I do have a Hoover Dustet Model 100, which I've never even shown on the channel yet. I expect that is my oldest. When I was collecting, years ago, I did buy and collect, before eBay of course, I did get some sort of pre-war cleaners, very, very old cleaners. In fact, some people will go like, oh! And I probably go like that, but I did actually have, it looked like a vacuum. It sort of had a metal base, wooden handle and a bag, but it was actually sort of friction drive. You had to push it and it created the suction. It was a full-size vacuum, and I binned it one day. It was in the loft, but that's probably quite rare. It wasn't a Hoover, I've no idea what make it was. That would have been pretty old. But I've had very old machines. If you go on my Facebook page, you'll have to look in the photos, you'll see some pictures of my earlier collections when I've got some quite old ones. But I think a lot of people tend to collect stuff that they grew up with, so sort of the older ones were from the 70s, and then everything from 70s onwards. So the bulk of my collection now is really the older ones. I've got a few older ones now from the 70s and 80s, but it's from 70s onwards really. I like new vacuums, I like older, but they can't be too old, So thanks for the question. Guitar player for you. Now, guitar player for you, check out his channel, because he sings, and I don't know if he plays the guitar. I've seen him singing. He's got a very good voice. Guitar player for you. Now, guitar player for you, I've got a question for you. Can you can you sing either the Shake and Vac advert in like in an Ollie Murs version, or the Hoover High Powered Compact advert? You'll have seen it. You can check my channel. I'm not going to do it. The new High Powered Compact from Hoover. Why not try that in a sort of a ballady style? That would be good. Anyway, no pressure. Right, guitar player for you. Do you like any Dyson vacuums? If so, which models, and will you be testing future Dyson cleaners? Well, yes, I will. Hang on a minute. Oh, look. That's the latest one I'll be testing. Not Hoover. It's a Dyson, what is it? A V6 something. Ooh, dropped a bit of muck on the iPad. I just vacuumed my chair with this before I came on air, so that'll be the next Dyson coming up. I have a love-hate relationship with Dyson, to be honest. I've had many, many Dyson cleaners. I've had DC01, DC02, 4, 5, 8. I've had the DC05 Motorhead. I've had the original Ball. I've had all sorts of Dysons. Currently, I only have 3. I have the DC35, this V6, and my DC40. DC40 was certainly the best Dyson I've tried, upright anyway. I've never been a fan of the cylinder models, Dysons, never. Hang on, what's the question? Do you like any Dyson vacuums? Right. Well, I did actually like the DC15, to be honest. I thought that was quite a good clean. I sold it, but I did quite like that. It was very big and cumbersome and over-engineered, but I did quite like that one. I liked the DC03 for its styling, the fact it would go flat, but that wasn't very good performance. I don't know why Dyson don't produce something similar to that. Update it. Make a slim Dyson. Get rid of the ball. We don't need the ball in everything. Just make a slim Dyson that goes flat to the floor and cleans under furniture. So yeah, DC15, DC03, that's about it, really. So thanks for your question, guitar player, for you. Oh, here he is, old Rusty. Rusty Skull. His real name's Ben. Oh, I've let out your secret. Benny boy. Oh, I don't think this is a question. Oh, well, I'll... Ha-ha! You're living the life of the successful tubuer. Is that a mistake, or was that supposed to be funny? I make the jokes, Rusty. Tubuer, many people commenting and asking things, lol. It was my birthday yesterday, haha, 25 years old, blimey. I know what you mean by flabby. Now in my old age, since I've been working my job, I've got very flabby toes. I'll have to do some toe workouts. You'll be making enough money from this that you'll be making videos every day for your actual job, dude. Nice work anyway, mate. How dare you presume, Mr. Rusty, that I'm your mate? I don't even know you, you cockney. He's not cockney, he's more of an Essex boy. He knows I'm joking. I have quite a bit of banter with Mr. Rusty. So that wasn't... sorry I mentioned you, Rusty. I don't want to plug your channel, Rusty Skull Productions. I have done in the past, but he's been swearing a lot more, children, on some of his videos, so watch with caution. And Rusty, by the way, you've not tinkered for a long time. Get tinkering. Oh, it's all very well. I know that you've got fans of CB radio and you're going on your tractor like this. There's a video of him bouncing up and down. What something went... oh. He's going like this on his tractor, bouncy, bouncy. Just get back to tinkering. It's what you do best. Get your WD-40 out, unbox some dirty oily things and tinker with them. That's what we like to see. But do your laundry before. I don't like the tumble dryer on in the background, Rusty. Okay. Right, I won't bother with that. OMG, it's Big Mac Gaming 90. Does that mean you were born in 1990? That makes you far too young. Hi Roger, can I please have a birthday? Oh well, no you can't. I did actually say that this couldn't be done on a specific day. But anyway, I'll do it. Anyway, happy birthday Alfie, who's 5 this week, 3 weeks ago. Thanks. Happy birthday Alfie. You're 5 in a few months. No, you're 5 and 3 weeks. Happy birthday. Pneumatic Rule 29. Hi Roger. I am Daniel and I really like vacuums. What vintage Hoover vacuums do you own? Also, what pneumatics have you had in the past? Well, you can see most of the vintage ones I own at the moment on my channel. There are some I don't think I've featured yet. There's a vintage Aquamaster, there's a Hoover Freedom coming up, a Hoover Junior. So basically, what you've seen on my channel is what I've got. As I say, it's mainly 70s vintage that I like the best in vintage. I much prefer new cleaners, to be honest, now. So that's that. So thanks for the question, Daniel. Ollie Vac Guy. Hello, please can I have a shout out? Hello, Ollie Vac Guy. He lives in Cambridge and he's been a follower of my channel for 2 to 3 years now. I enjoy your content. Please keep it coming. I will try, Ollie. I will try to keep it coming as long as there's breath in my body. Joseph May, your dogs are too cute. Give Daisy Girl and Molly my love. Daisy, Molly! Joseph May loves you. I've also got another dog downstairs called Lolly, a big golden retriever. I'm going to be featuring her. I'm going to make use of her this week while I've got her. First of all, I'm going to harvest her for hair for my demos, but I think I'll do another Dyson groom video with her. Okay, Alex and Kate show. Please could I have a shout out? I'm your biggest fan and long-time viewer. Well, you can't be my biggest fan, Alex and Kate show, because everyone claims that. Well, not everyone. Several people, well, 3, have claimed that they're my biggest fan. You can't all be. I might have a competition. It'll be a while. I'm going to celebrate, if I ever do. If I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a competition. But it's not going to be an easy prize draw thing. You're going to have to answer questions. So only the biggest fan will win. And if you know, all the questions are right, I'll have to put you in a draw and pick you out. It will be to win a vacuum cleaner. But if you live overseas, I don't know, I might have to give you the monetary equivalent via PayPal. So you can buy something for yourself. But if you live in the UK, you'll be getting a vacuum. But that's not going to be until I get 10,000 subscribers. So tell all your friends, get subscribing. I'm on 6,500, so you never know. Also, the vacuum and other things have said same here. So he's my biggest fan as well and a long time viewer. Hello, the vacuum and other things. Cars and vacuums. Oh, we've just got a 9 kilogram Hoover 1500 spin washing machine and it's fab. Well, come back to me in a little while, cars and vacuum cleaners, when that fab washing machine explodes and ruins your kitchen. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't personally you know, it's up to your parents or whoever decided to buy that. I personally wouldn't buy a Hoover washing machine nowadays. When they were made in Merthyr Tydfil, oh yeah, my mum had only Hoover washing machines until the last Bosch she got, the Bosch Classics. Until then, Hoover, 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 Hoover. I think I might have influenced her. Hoover Master, what was one of your favourite vacuums when you were younger, like 10 to 20? Well, that's quite a big gap, 10 years. I would like a shout out. Hello, Hoover Master. Oh, his name is Jackson, and he's watched my videos for around 2 years. Well, Jackson, God, it really is. If I was to sit down and think of all the vacuums that have passed through my hands over the years, it would be in the hundreds. And it's hard to put. I've got a soft spot for sort of the 80s vacuums. So it's the Sensortronics, it's the Turbo Masters rather than the Turbo Powers. My favourite Turbo Master is a U5080. That was a lovely cleaner. I loved all the Powerhead Sensortronics, the talking Sensortronic. Any Hoover cleaner with a Powerhead, they were amongst my favourite cylinders. I quite like the Aquatronic because it's quite unusual. It really is hard, but it's that period from the 80s to the 90s. I'd lapped up anything Hoover. Okay, David Malcolm, who's got a picture of a green. Is it Harry? Oh, my eyes. I can't see it. Oh, it's a Harry. David Malcolm, hello, you would like a shout out. Hello, David. What do you think of the Hoover Constellation vacuum cleaner? Would you ever get a Hoover Constellation vacuum cleaner? Well, I have had many Hoover Constellations. I would like another. I've tried bidding occasionally on eBay, but they've just gone for too much money. I've had a pink and rose white Constellation. I've had an orange and white Constellation. I've had a green and white Constellation, the Swedish pine smoke green one. I've also had the USA made Constellation, which I believe was pumpkin at the top, and I believe the colour underneath was seal grise or something. And that was made in the USA, slightly different styling. Yes, I like the Constellation. Very different for its time. I've got the I've got the Maytag Satellite, which of course is called Hoover Constellation in the States, which is the modern upgrade of it, and it's fairly faithful to the original, so at least I have the modern version. Would be nice to get one. I do plan to get one. The last one I bid on was an orange and white one, quite good condition. I don't want a battered one if I was to get another one, but if I do, you'll all know about it because of course I'll show it. And under that, just for the comments and subscribing, said Maytag Satellite, which I've just mentioned. Alex's Farm, please could I have a shout out. I'm Alex Elson from Lincolnshire. Hello, Alex from Lincolnshire. My partner, actually 5 days of the week, lives in Winterton, which is in Lincolnshire. He actually works in Scunthorpe. So I'm all alone for 5 days of the week. Fantastic. That's the way to live, folks. Not just separate bedrooms, separate houses. It's the only way. So, hello, Alex. Logan Cave. I'm not one to usually do this. Are you not, Logan? But my YouTube channel is quite small. If you stumble upon sometime, a shout out for me would be wonderful. Well, I haven't stumbled on it yet, actually, Logan, but check out Logan Cave. That's his name, so I assume that's the name of his YouTube channel. Logan space CAVE. And I'll have to have a look at that. So I'm sure there's plenty of vacuums on. Ian is a long-time watcher, long-time commenter. Ian, this is about Victoria Wood, so I don't think this is a shout-out, but I'm just going through it. I think this is going to have to be part one, to be honest. How much... Crikey, this is going to be far too long. Right, I'm going to go for about half an hour on my TikTok thing. So I've got another 5 minutes. Nobody will be watching this anyway. Only the people that have asked for shout out, and as soon as you've had your shout out, you'll go. But you never know, I might shout out for you again at the end. So keep watching, folks. You might learn something. Right, it's about Victoria Wood. I cried because I mentioned her, of course, in the video. I cried over Victoria Wood too. I'm sorry I've mentioned that, Ian. It's okay to cry. Yes, I'm always crying. No, not so much anymore. Yes. Right. Yes, I have. You will. Don't be embarrassed, Ian. Don't be embarrassed about crying over. You know, we didn't know Victoria Wood, but a lot of us knew of her. A lot of us laughed at the things she did. And you know, when you're growing up, you sort of get attached to people, music, objects that remind you of your childhood or of when you're younger, and it's naturally to get a bit teary-eyed over stuff. So, anyway, he's glad that the clownish Ibaisiac is going to be around for a while. Well, I do play the fool sometimes. Sometimes my jokes fall on deaf ears. Sometimes people don't get my jokes. But if you don't get me, I'm not going to cry over it. As a vacuum collector, the one machine I would love to own would be a Hoover Idol. This is what Ian's saying. Therefore, my question is, if you had the TARDIS for a day, ooh, the TARDIS for a day, unlimited pre-decimal currency, and a desperate urge to buy a vintage vacuum in brand new condition, what era would you go back to and which machine would you buy? Oh, Ian, only one? Look, I'm telling you, if I had unlimited pre-decimal currency, a TARDIS that's a lot bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, do you think I'd go back and get one? You're out of your tiny little mind, Ian. I'd be filling that TARDIS. I don't think it'd be able to take off. What I would do, I would go to the TARDIS and I would land somewhere in Croydon, which I think is it East London, Croydon. Now, Alder's department store, which is no longer there, the building's there, but it's no longer Alder's department store in Croydon. I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about this. That's where I used to get a load of vacuums in the 80s, sort of early to mid-80s, and that's an era I loved. So I would sit down in the car park behind Alder's or somewhere discreet, and I would go back and forth. And I would be going in and I'd be getting, so I'm not going to mention one, I'd be getting like Sensortronic Tilt System 50s, Turbo Masters, Compacts, Vogues, well I don't think the Vogue was out, but I would go back to, well what era? Oh, I'm going to say I'm going to go back to the 80s then, okay? In fact, I'll go back to the 80s, I'll still get everything from Alder's because it was the best place in my area to go for vacuums. This is before the internet. And I'd start in 1980 and I'd get 10 vacuums from 1980 and then to go to 1981, 10 from there. So I'd get 10 from 1980 right up to 1989, so I'd have 90, if my maths is correct. That's what I do, Ian. I'm greedy, but if I had loads of money and a TARDIS, I'm not just coming back with one. Oh, right, Sorcerer. So I don't know why Sorcerer who's called Chris, Sorcerer 101567. I'm not sure what those numbers mean. Hi Roger, quick question. Which vacuum is your daily driver and why? Well, Chris, I don't have one. I get asked this so many times. I don't have a daily driver because I get bored using the same vacuum over and over. I mean, it takes all my effort to fill a bag. Sometimes I make the effort to fill a bag. I say to myself, right, I'm going to wait until this bag is chock-a-block, then I'll take the bag out, put a new one in. That's assuming I'm using a bag cleaner, which I mainly do. And then once it's been filled, I put a new bag in, then I'll store it away and get something else out. So I've done that a few times, but I have a few out all at the same time, and then I don't have a daily driver. My daily driver at the moment is the Dyson V6 that I showed earlier. Previous to that, I've been using Sebo K3, been using my Sebo X4 Pet Boost. It's just what happens to be out. There is a household vacuum which I let my partner use, which is a Miele S8 something, a black thing. And I get that out occasionally to do the kitchen floor with. But no, I don't have a daily driver. Right, Louise Sturton, big supporter of Ibaisiac is Louise, follows me on Facebook and Twitter. Hello Roger, can you please give a shout out to myself and my partner Brett? Is it Lorney? It looks like Lorney. Brett, that's a manly name, Brett. Sounds a bit American, doesn't it? Hi, I'm Brett. Anyway, Louise and Brett, they're from Dundee in Scotland. We're both massive fans of yours and massive vac fans. I love Shark, Vacs and Hoover vacuums. Oh, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Don't say the V word. And my partner loves Hoover and Electrolux vacuums. So, hello Louise and her partner Brett from Bonnie, Scotland. Right, what's the time? Ecky thump. Right, this is going to be the last one from Jake, and then it's going to have to go into part 2 because this is ludicrous. I do have fun chatting, but I'm sure you're not going to watch this. But anyway, there you go. I enjoy making the videos. Hello Mr. Ibaisaic, that isn't really my name. But anyway, hello Mr. Ibaisaic, I was wondering if you could say hello to me in one of your videos. Well, I'm saying it to you in this one. I did mention that it would have to be in a special video, and it's this one. So, hello Jake. He is from Westville, New Jersey. Not only do I like vacuum cleaners, but I also fix them. I own a Shark Navigator Liftaway Pro, and I was wondering if they make a Shark Navigator model NV352 in the UK, because I used one today for the first time and it's even quieter than mine, which is the professional model. That has got to be saying something. I don't know, I don't really know model numbers. Now Shark, I'll be featuring within the next few months, I'll be featuring another Shark upright on this channel. Now Shark, until fairly recently, were a pretty small player in the UK. They weren't widely available. You can buy them from places like Currys, which is our main sort of high street or out of town superstore for electricals. Currys is the main player now. Other stores have come and gone. And Argos, I'd say, was probably the second. So Currys and Argos are now stocking Shark, as are other places. So they seem to be making more of a concerted effort to, you know, make inroads into the UK market. So we are getting a lot more models than we used to get, although nowhere near as many as you get in the USA, because that's their main market, I would have thought. So I quite like Shark. They seem to have some good ideas, and they seem to be quite good vacuums. Not quality, not, you know, they're okay, but they're not top notch, but you know, they seem quite good, so I do hope to be trying out another Shark. So I can't say if we've got that particular model, but we've had navigators. I've done on my channel Morphy Richards Liftaway, which was based on the Shark. That's how we got Shark vacuums more or less first. We did get a couple of Shark vacuums, but Morphy Richards sort of introduced Shark-made vacuums to the UK. Right, no, that'll be it. Sorry about that. Any of you watching, you're going to have to tune into part 2. I don't know if this is going to be a part 3. Looking at it and the way I babble on, there might be a part 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my shirt so it makes it look like I've recorded on a completely different day. I'm going to upload this, put this out, and then I'll put part 2 maybe on whatever day I'm going to be putting this out on. I don't know. But in a couple of days I'll do part 2, and if I natter on for too long, there'll be part 3, part 4, part 5. Who knows when it will end? But everything ends eventually. So from part 1 of my shout out and answered question video session, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who's requested a shout out or asked me a question. Thanks to all of you. Quick Roger, say their names again so they have to watch till the end. So, thank you Brian, thank you Dean B, thank you Caleb, thank you Samaya, thank you Mark, thank you Tom Vacuum, thank you Pneumatic Collector, thank you Adam Sturgeon, thank you Guitar Player for You, check out Guitar Player for You singing. Thanks again Rusty, I love you, you're like the son I never had. Yeah, it's terrible. He is young enough to be my son. I don't really love you, not in that way. More in a way that a father would love his son. His poor urchin of a son. Oh, OMG, it's Big Gaming. Hello, Pneumatic Rule 29, Ollie Vac Guy, Joseph May, Alex and Kate Show, The Vacuum and Other Things, Cars and Vacuum Cleaners, Hoover Master, David Malcolm, just for the comments and subscribing, Alex's Farm, and last but not least, hello again. Oh no, hang on. No, Logan. I thought Logan was the last one. Logan, Cave, Ian, Mean, Sorcerer, Louise and Brett, Jake. Jake was the last one. Jake's got a pussycat as his picture. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for thumbing up. Come on, thumb me up. Thanks for watching Ibaisiac. Stay tuned for part 2. If you've asked me a question and want a shout out, part 2 might be the one you need to watch. So until then, I'll see you very soon.